Hi and welcome to another Free.volous episode. Today I'm going to play with affordable makeup. Some of this is drugstore, some of this is kind of just affordable, but it's not from the drugstore. But yeah, I have used basically everything that I have in front of me a couple of times, so I don't have a very strong opinion on these products, just so you know. So without further ado, let's start. This is one of the things that I bought when I was in London. This is the e.l.f. The putty primer. Yeah, just the cream putty primer. And this comes in a special edition kind of box, which is the cookies and dreams, I'm sorry. And it's kind of like this. And supposedly it kind of helps to just tone down your pores, you know. So yeah, I've only used this once or twice. I think this will depend on the products that you apply on top. So I'm not having lots of huge expectations. It feels like a cream, it's not silicone-y, so it's rather interesting. I was about to buy the 3 sampler because they have 3 different types of this primer, but I fell for the limited edition smells like cookies one. The next product I'm going to apply on my face, I've already used, I already know I'm not a fan, but here we go. This is the L'Oreal Nude Serum Foundation. This one, the one that so many people were raving about. It has 1% of hyaluronic acid. Whoopity-doo, I guess. And I've used this a couple of times and I was profoundly disappointed, to be honest. Firstly, it's a huge mess because of the dropper. Why don't they make this a pump? I do not know. They want to make it look more serum-y, but nah. And yeah. And I'm using a fairly densely packed brush because I already know this hardly has any coverage. When I say hardly, I mean I have tinted moisturizers that provide more coverage. Oh, just so you know, because it's warmer, of course there are, now that we need to have our windows open because we have very bad insulation in our houses. Construction has started, of course, because, you know, hell has to be hell. In case you hear construction noises, it's because there is construction around here. But yeah, this has hardly any coverage. I can see the attraction for someone who doesn't actually have anything to cover, but for me, I have melasma, lots of hyperpigmentation around, sometimes the occasional blemish, and this is not enough, and I cannot build it up because it's very thin and serum-y like, and it starts to go very pasty. And I just feel like it has a beautiful dew to it, though. Just to each their own, and it's a merit. It's a merit. I really like the dewy finish. I just think it needed a bit pigment to it, in my opinion. So this is as high as I can get with the coverage with this foundation. It's a bit disappointing, but I've given a few runs. It doesn't agree with my skin. I need a bit more coverage. That's basically it. The other product that I have here is the Maybelline Superstay Concealer. I remember really liking the Superstay foundation, at least the first iteration they did of it. I think they have either reformulated it or just repackaged it. Dunno. Did not keep up with the times, but I was curious about this concealer, so I bought mine in, I think it's this 15 on the top of it, I think. So, yeah. And I've just applied a little bit where I'm the darkest. And this is a very thin concealer. And it feels almost like it has lots of alcohol to it. It even smells a bit of alcohol. And so it evaporates, and it's super sheer. So if you try to blend it immediately, it kind of disappears. leaves a bit of a stain, a lighter stain. But if you try to let it sit for a bit, then it becomes a bit too patchy. Again, for me, this is a huge, huge fail. So, do not. But this is not going to be full of bad reviews or anything. I have something to save the day. This is the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. And this one does provide coverage. It does have a more of a creamy finish to it. And I actually can use it almost as a foundation all over my face, which is really really nice. That's what I meant. Do I know the number or shade of this concealer without my glasses? I don't, but I'll let you know in here. So I haven't been recording because once I came back from my little London getaway, let's say, basically on the first week I got completely drowned in work, but then when things settled down, my face decided to burst. My eyes have had a bit of eczema on both of them. I think I'm developing an allergy. I hope not to all eyeshadows, but one brand, we'll see. And at the same time, I had a cold sore on my lips. So I didn't feel the best recording, so I decided to postpone it. I still have a bit of that eczema thingy here, and I'm sorry if this doesn't go as smooth as it could, but that's just how it goes. If you have really dry lids, you'll be glad to see how it performs on me right now, right? There's always a silver lining. I'm just going to dab a bit of concealer over here, and yeah, because I need coverage in certain areas, and that foundation did not cut it, nor the other concealer that I didn't even try to apply on my face, this one kind of gets the job done, you know? And it covered everything that I wanted covered, but I still can see my skin through because I didn't apply it everywhere. So yeah, these two paired together, fine. It's fine. Is it great? No, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Now, the other product that I had to try, right? I had to try it. It's been enough time so that it's not a trend anymore. So I can try it peacefully right now without being torn to pieces if I don't like it. It's the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Powder Foundation, or foundation in a powder. And everybody and their dog was screaming about this on TikTok. I love this kind of circular trend thing that feels like, oh, I've discovered something new. What, a powder foundation? Good for you. But yeah, L'Oreal came out with this, I think last summer or something like that. And it's a bit perfumey. Why? And it does have quite a good amount of coverage. So I'm just going to lightly set where I want that extra longevity, which is, as you may know, on my W area. So the sides of my nose and my jaw. And I even bring it up a bit more up here to pick up or to cover the lower area of my melasma. And this is an amazing touch-up powder, I should say. No questions there. If you don't get completely bothered with a bit more of a matte, I don't think it's a flat finish, but it's more mattifying. For the summertime, it's a great powder, and I've been thoroughly enjoying it. I've always liked powder foundations. I have several, one from MAC, one from Cover FX, the one from Fenty, one from Sephora. I have to declutter stuff, but that's another video. But yeah, and this one is way up there with the best ones because it doesn't look cakey. Oh, in case you're wondering, the shade I'm wearing is 120. Now this one is a throwback. I'm gonna jump to lips right now, and I've been on YouTube for several years, many years now, and I've followed Lisa Eldridge even before I was on YouTube, and she got me into this, and this was discontinued, and I've been looking for something like this ever since. This is the Revlon Colorstay Moisture Stains. These are discontinued, sadly, but these are, I've just applied it. These are kind of a pretty glossy, inky stain that feels like almost a lip oil on your lips, so it stays slightly creamy, but it sticks to your lips, so it's the stain kind of effect. And it feels moisturizing at the same time, but it has lots of longevity. It's like these modern stains, but instead of being pretty liquidy, it has kind of a moisturizing, almost liquid lip balm feeling to them. I love this. And recently, Revlon, and I was in London when I saw this, came out with a Colorstay Satin Ink. I don't know if this is very recent or not recent at all, but this just caught my eye because I was instantly taken back to the moisture stains. This is not the same thing, because whilst the moisture stains have a bit of translucency to them that gives you that kind of bitten lip feeling, these are pretty opaque, the new ones. So it's the new trend of something that is glossy but stays longer on your lips and is full coverage, which is something I can get into, but yeah. And I'm super excited to try this. I've used this once, but not for a long time, just put it on and then removed it, just to see if I had a good color for me. But yeah, I'm excited to play with this, and I'm going to use a lip liner with it just because I have to talk about this product a bit more. I've already mentioned this in a video. This is the Essence Stay 8-Hour Lip Liner. As I said, I got into this because there's an Instagram account that I follow. She's called Teresa Camera, or Camera Teresa is her handle, and she talks about food, and she's gorgeous, and once in a while she drops some of her favorite makeup products, and she looks gorgeous at all times. And she mentioned this lip liner. I got a couple, and I'm in love with these, with all the colors of the rainbow that they come out with. This is very long wearing. It glides very well on the lips, and they're super affordable because it's Essence. So this is a good one. I'm going to just kind of remove the leftover lip balm that I had, and I'm going to go with this. The color is, oh my god, please let me be able to read the color. Number 1, Curious 01. This is the most brownie nude of the two nudes that they have. I wish they had a brownier one still, but for every day. And you can even apply this all over the lips and use it as your just a lipstick, and it stays for so long. It's amazing. That is actually not bad on me because I don't look my best with nudes, sadly. But let's go in with a Colorstay Satin Ink by Revlon. This color is 001. As you can see, it's pretty opaque, and it has that kind of mauvey undertone, and it is like an opaque satin gloss, I'd say. They're not the exact same because they're not as shiny as the original moisture stains. As I said, they're not sheer. They are fully opaque, but still, as you can see, this one shines a bit less than this one. This stays a bit more hydrated, let's say. But it's still a beautiful color, and it stays for quite a long time on the lips, and I've really enjoyed using it. Although this is a nudie color, it is quite an impactful opaque color. So I decided to do my lips first, that's why. And now we're going to jump onto the eyes. And we're on a pastel trend now, right? They have been around for a while, but this year, because of Natasha Denona, it kind of came to the forefront and took the lights to itself, the trend. And I wanted to feature a couple of palettes that I think can achieve not the same, but similar kind of moods in terms of pastels. And I have here the Beauty Bay Pastels palette. This has been out for a while, way before the kind of actual trend started, a couple of years ago maybe. And I got it and I never got to feature it in my channel, sorry, but you can get it for dirt cheap. It's almost always in a promotion. You have 8 shades of matte pastels, and the other one is the Lost in Los Angeles palette by BH Cosmetics, which is going through a structural problem, but you can still find these on Beauty Bay and on their German website if you're in Europe. And this got quite tossed around when the Natasha Denona palette came out, saying that, well, you get the same kind of vibe with this palette, and I decided to buy it to see that. And I must say, let's get it out of the way before I do my eyes with the palettes, what I think regarding, you know, duping, the vibes maybe of this palette. I'd say that with the Pastels palette by Beauty Bay, you get 4 really close color matches, which are the orange, these 2 pinks, and the green. Those are the closest colors. The blue is more turquoisey, and the blue in the light blue in the Natasha Denona palette is a bit more of a sky blue, a true blue. So it doesn't go further than that. The extra that I find is really nice for me, because I really love these colors, is you get these 2, the purple and the yellow, on the Pastels palette that you do not get in the Natasha Denona. Although Zest, I'm saying, which is this greeny, limey green color here, is halfway almost between this yellow and this green, just so you know. So in terms of colors, you get 4 kind of dupe-ish colors in this palette. In terms of quality, I find that the mattes in the Pastels palette by Beauty Bay are a bit more fiddly, in the sense that you have to pack them on and you cannot blend them out, or else they will disappear into existence, which is something very common with pastel colors. They're really hard to formulate. They have lots of white, but you can pack a punch in terms of color. You just have to pack them on and then leave them. You cannot blend them out too much, or else they will disappear. That's kind of my take from it. But because this is so affordable, I can take the time to, you know, just do a bit more for it and with it. And I would never have the same leniency with the pricing of this palette. I would not be as lenient with that one. The Lost in Los Angeles, very quickly, I'd say you have the same kind of close colors, this pink and this salmony orange here, and that's basically where they touch. The other mattes are pretty far out, in my opinion, from the Natasha Denona ones. And the shimmers, except for this one here, this pinkish one is called Sunset Boulevard here. It's pretty close to Starlit, which is the reddish peach duochrome in Natasha Denona. And all the other shimmers are their own, very unique. And I would say these are 2 different palettes. That's the colors here are a bit more muted or dusty, I'd say, in a good way. So yeah, I think it is an amazing palette. These mattes are far more impactful and easy to work than with the pastels in the Beauty Bay palette, and the shimmers of these, they make Natasha Denona run for its money. Just letting you know, they're just different colors. That's all there is to it. I'm in love with this blue. Just wanted to share that. But anyway, after all of this, I asked on my Instagram which one of these palettes you wanted to see featured in my channel, so that I could do a video on it. And I asked if you wanted to see the Beauty Bay one, the BH Cosmetics one, or a bit of both. And it was a tie between the Beauty Bay and a little bit of both. So I guess I'll feature the Beauty Bay a bit more heavily and add a sprinkle of this one, maybe. So we'll see what I can come up with. Pray for me because, you know, I'm pretty good at doing eyeshadows on camera. It always comes out really good, really good. I'm sorry for my hair today, it's not going well. So to start off with, I'm going to use a little bit of my NYX Jumbo eye pencil in milk. I'm just going to use a little bit of this just to lighten up the base of my eyelids. I don't want to color block all my eyelids or anything. Just to give it a bit more of lightness so that the colors can pop. It's one of those things that you think the eczema is gone, you can't see it, and then you run a bit of eyeshadow on top of it, be it cream or a powder, and it's there. So sad. I think I'm gonna play with the yellow and the green. I'm gonna start with the yellow on the inner part of my lid. There we go. And as I said, I'm stamping it on, starting where I want most of the color to stick, and then the rest just fades out, and I don't do much regarding blending because I don't want it to disappear. I love yellow eyeshadow, so I'll get this palette almost exclusively for this yellow because it's a really bright light yellow, which is really nice. And then I'm gonna get this zesty green here and apply it on the other half of my lid, the outer corner, I'd say. Let it fade a bit. Again, just pressing the eyeshadow without too much blending. On my viewfinder, it feels like I don't have any eyelashes. It just looks weird. Sorry if it does look like that in real life. On YouTube. You know what I mean. I'm gonna take a smallish blending brush and just run it on the edges. Kind of like 2/3 yellow, 1/3 green. This inner corner is quite raggedy, cannot do anything regarding that, so that's it. And now with this palette, I'm really interested, who'd have thunk, in this kind of olivey gold here, and I think that it would look good. It's called Rodeo Drive, and I think it will look good. Just let me see, on the center of the lid. Yeah, it goes from gold to green, so it's a good combo. Should have left the center of the lid bare so that this could stand out a bit more. My mistake. I'm going to spray the eyeshadow here. Yeah, that kind of helps. Just applying it on the center of the lid. Just so you know, because it will get lost with the matte underneath, this is the actual shine of this eyeshadow. Just so my incompetence with eyeshadows doesn't tone down your enthusiasm regarding this kind of shade. And then an eye pencil by Essence. This is the long-lasting eye pencil. This color doesn't say. Well, you can find it immediately because it's a lime green, and I was really excited to be able to use it. So let's see how it goes on the waterline. I know it goes really well on my skin, on just on the eyes, because I tried it just as an eyeliner and it worked beautifully. On the under eyes, I'm going to go again with Rodeo Drive. And I wanted something to darken this. And a bit of the green also from the Beauty Bay palette. It's called Serenity. Serenity now! Serenity now! It looks terrible through the viewfinder. I hope this looks better on camera. Honestly, I'm not lying. It looks a lot better in person than it looks on the viewfinder, and I'm terrified it will look terrible. But anyway, next product. This is the Lashes to Kill No Panda Eyes Smudge Proof by Catrice, and it's supposedly a tubing mascara. And a bit like Lash Princess. Ooh. It's super underwhelming. Is it just me, or is this just super underwhelming? Yeah. It feels pretty wet. It's clumping my lashes together. I don't have terrible lashes. They're pretty okay most of the time, and sometimes they're really good. And it's just making them look really separated and sad. Me. Since they're so spidery, let's go with it and pretend we're in the 60s or 70s. The eyes are as good as possible. This was not what I was expecting when I decided to do this video, but hey ho. Now let's jump on to the brows. This is the NYX The Brow Glue. And it looks quite promising because it has quite a goopy, stringy look to it, and it feels pasty gluey going on the brows. I've tried this product before. I've used it several times before, and it is quite promising when it goes on, as you can see. Really effortlessly kind of lifted my brows, although it kind of made them do that thing where they curl like this. I don't know. I'm not meant to have my brows lifted, am I? Oh, my brow lift lasted what? 3 weeks or a month before it went back down. Me. My experience with this is once it starts to dry, they just fall down. So this is not it. Just give it to me straight. I will have to buy the goddamn Patrick Tar lamination gel. Right? Just gonna do a little bit of black on the top waterline. And now let's move on to cheeks. And I have two products here. They cannot go together because one is a very creamy, dewy liquid, and the other one is a shimmering blush. So, this is the Colourpop Cheek Dew serum blush, and again, it just called out my name. I thought it could be a good dupe for the more expensive dewy cream blushes out there, and that's what I'm applying on my cheeks right now. And here is the problem. This is color Kiss Kiss. And I got it because it's a pretty nudie, neutral color. But you can see on my hand, it has some pigment to it, right? I cannot make this work. It's a bit dewy. When I turn my head, you can see a bit of a dew. It's not lifting my foundation unless I go really ham with the patting. But if I'm gentle, it's okay. But it doesn't show much color, does it? But then if I try to build it up, it does start to lift the foundation. I'm being the gentlest of the gentles. Again, when it's inexpensive, I don't mind working a bit more for it. If it's very expensive, I wanted to do everything immediately and serve me coffee. But yeah, I had to layer three layers to have it a bit visible. I have to be super careful or it will lift my foundation. But there you go. This was what I could do. The shimmery blush, it's called No Way, by the way. I will leave it for another day. I just applied a little bit more of the lip, and I think this is it. And now I'm going to set my beautiful work of art with, this is the Milani Make It Last Original Setting Spray. It's nice to have an affordable setting spray, not only to, try new things out, but also when it comes to just spraying your eyeshadows, my soul dies a little bit inside when I have to spray with an expensive setting spray. So yeah, People rave about this, so I really want to give it a few more goes. I don't have an opinion on it. So this is the finished look. Thumbnail. As an overview, I really liked the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. I think this can be used as a concealer and even as a foundation when diluted with other things. The L'Oreal Infallible Powder. The TikTokers were not lying when they raved about these two. Pretty good finds. I've had the Pastels palette for a while from Beauty Bay. I know its weaknesses and strengths. I really like the color scheme, and it's a good one if you can't afford more. Just be prepared to work a bit more and for it, and just maybe use a white base if you are darker than fair, basically. And the Los Angeles palette, I haven't swatched anything today, but the shimmers on here are absolute beautiful stars. I wouldn't say this is an actually pastel palette. I think the mattes are a bit dusky, borderline going on to the grungy side of things. Still very interesting colors and nothing that I had in my collection. So I'm really excited to play with the shimmers, which are absolutely beautiful. As usual, I have loads of fun with the Essence liners, both the eyeliner and the lip liner. Beautiful, have lots of colors in the eyeliner too. And moving on to the meh products, the Revlon Color Stain, Color Satin Ink. I wish it was more glossy. It says satin, so it's doing what it says on the tin. I just wished, for me, it was a bit more glossy, but it has an amazing staying power. I have been talking non-stop for more than 1 hour, and it's performing beautifully. Another meh product, the ColourPop Cheek Dews. They're not bad. It's showing up on my skin and it's giving me that dewy glow that doesn't need a highlighter, but you need to work it with lots of care and be very careful because it will lift your coverage if you're not very careful. And in my case, I have my melasma right here. So for me, it's a meh. Another one that I cannot have an opinion on for now is the Make It Last spray from Milani, and also the e.l.f. Cookies and Dreams, the putty primer, because, oh, it smells good. It does have a fragrance. Because I just haven't used it with all of my foundations to have an opinion. You gotta have an opinion. But it has kind of helped alongside with a powder to kind of tone down my pores on this area here, which is really nice. I should have bought the Camel powder. I really wanted to get it, but then I was thinking, don't spend all your money on everything. You've been to 4 plays in London. You can't spend any more money. And I left it there, and I can't find it online because e.l.f. in Europe online is crap. Anyway, the things that I'm probably not going to pick up again are the L'Oreal Nude Dropper Serum Foundation. Hardly any coverage. It looks good, but it needs help. The Superstay Concealer, what a disappointment. I really liked the foundation, at least the first iteration, which was the one that I had. This is a dud for me. Super drying underneath the eyes, and it doesn't have any coverage. And the brow glue, because as you can see, my brows have gone back down without me touching them at all. And of course, the panda eyes. No more panda eyes. Lashes to kill. No panda eyes. Catrice mascara. It gave me a bit of length, but they're pretty clumpy and they look thin. Not my favorite. And that's it. This is me and a full face of drugstore products. Most of them fairly recent and hyped, I guess. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Future me will not enjoy editing the, I think, almost 3 hours of footage that I have here. But that's another story. don't worry about that. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, leave me a thumbs up, leave comments down below on what you want to see next, and recommend to me drugstore products or affordable products that I might be missing out. I don't need any more makeup, but I probably will end up trying new things soon. So let me know what you want to see next. Other than that, as usual, thank you for spending your time on me, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!